In Washington, in today for Elex Michaelson. The story is in the Arabian Sea, where thousands of U.S. sailors have spent more than 250 days on board an aircraft carrier, making it now the longest deployment ever at sea. And lawmakers want to know why. The story is in Ukraine, where President Zelensky says he wants to buy more Patriot missiles from the U.S. Hear what else he told CNN about fighting Russia just ahead. And the story is in Las Vegas, where a jury is finally in place in a trial that could answer a 30-year-old mystery. Who killed Tupac Shakur? We'll speak to a reporter who is inside the courtroom. We begin with growing concerns about conditions on the USS Abraham Lincoln, an aircraft carrier deployed in operations against Iran. A U.S. official tells CNN another carrier, USS George Washington, is now headed to the region to replace the Lincoln. The switch is described as previously planned, but it comes after military media reported multiple attempts by crew members to jump overboard from the ship. Family members of the crew say there are food shortages and water contamination on the vessel. Last month, some crew members described the conditions to CNN.
I would say morale's pretty low, and not just in the division, like in the ship entirely.
Kind of like Groundhog Day, just reliving the same day over and over. So that gets hard.
We were running pretty low on rations. I mean, at some points of the day, it would just be about noodles and tuna mixed in together, and that was it. Sometimes
that's all you were eating?
Sometimes you get a corn dog, sometimes you get a hot dog, but those were some rough days. I'm glad we made it past that.
Democratic Congressman Mike Levin went further, quoting reports of moldy showers, broken toilets, and no hot water for weeks. He says the ship's doctor reportedly warned that the vessel needs to reach port soon or people are going to start losing their minds. Defense Secretary Pete Hegseth responding to those reports during a trip to Central America on Thursday. Here's what he said.
Completely misrepresented. Listen, we make sure that every ship, every crew, every captain has everything we can provide them at every single moment. Some deployments are longer than others, and I have more respect and gratitude for those sailors than anybody.
Despite that, Democratic lawmakers still believe the White House has a lot of explaining to do. CNN's Ivan Rodriguez has the story.
It's been more than 250 days since the USS Abraham Lincoln left its home port of San Diego last November with more than 5,000 sailors and Marines. Its mission was extended to support U.S. operations in the war with Iran. Lawmakers are now demanding answers over concerns about deteriorating living conditions and service members' mental health.
I don't think President Trump is listening to these alarming examples of how sailors have been pushed to the very limit.
We need to hear from senior administration officials. How are they going to resolve this as soon as possible and deal with the disruption in the mental health and the physical health and the well-being of the people serving our nation?
News outlets Stars and Stripes and the Navy Times reported there have been multiple attempts by crew members to jump overboard, citing interviews with sailors and families of those on board who described the impacts of the Lincoln deployment. In a statement, the U.S. Navy says we have not observed an increase in suicidal ideations or attempts aboard the ship. We take every service member's well-being seriously and have religious, medical, and mental health professionals available to assess and address concerns as they arise. CNN spoke to some of those aboard about a month before those reports.
It's hard mentally, your mental state, being out to sea for 8 months without being on dry land. It takes a toll on you.
I miss my family, and I'm ready to go home.
I'm Ivan Rodriguez reporting.
Donald Trump's name going back on the Safety Center. Sources say his hand-picked board for the institution voted to inscribe the president's name below the Kennedy Center's sign. So it will now say the iconic building was, quote, restored and renovated by President Donald J. Trump. This move is testing the limits of the federal judge's order in May that blocked the president's attempt to name the building after himself. After that order, his name was removed, but as we can see, the facade is still covered by a massive tarp. The board also voted to close the arts complex for 2 renovations. Todd Blanche now delivered his first address to Justice Department employees since being sworn in as U.S. Attorney General responsible for the workforce that has endured firings, backlash in court, and accusations of political dealing on behalf of President Trump. Blanche pledged to make the Justice Department more faithful to its highest ideals.
I promise you that I will lead this department with integrity. I promise you that I will focus on our core mission, which is to uphold the rule of law fairly and impartially. And what we do is to promise that we are going to uphold the law without fear or favor.
Before becoming the nation's top law enforcement officer, Blanche served as President Trump's longtime personal attorney. The Senate approved his nomination by the narrowest of margins. Meanwhile, Iranian media is mocking reports of President Trump's secret flight from Turkey. Iranian news agencies this past week shared memes about the clandestine plan. An Iranian news website said the moment launched a wave of jokes on the internet. One official state-run outlet described the plot as cowardly escape that had become a topic of discussion online. Even Tehran's embassy in South Africa posted a meme about it. Reports emerged in recent days that last month the U.S. president secretly left the NATO summit in Turkey on an alternate military plane which he boarded while hidden inside a catering truck. The source says the plan was prompted by an Iranian threat to Air Force One. And now to the power struggle within the Democratic Party between progressives and moderates. The left has netted some prominent wins in recent primaries, but in Wisconsin, the establishment roared back this week with a moderate securing a Democratic nominee for governor. And since then, calls for unity within the party are growing louder. Stacey Abrams, the former Democratic nominee for Georgia governor, asked former U.S. Vice President Powell about the ideological direction of the party and what voters are saying about it.
And what is the future of the Democratic Party? Where is it headed? Because I think it's too early to tell based on just a collection of recent elections. But I will say that I think that what we are seeing is again, there is almost a rebellion against status quo because it has not been working for a lot of people for a long time.
Jeff Mason is the White House correspondent for Bloomberg, and he is with us from Chicago. And Jeff, there are just so many topics to dissect in the politics space right now. Let's start with the midterms and the Democratic Party there, because here we are with a swing in one direction in Michigan, then a move back the other way in Wisconsin. And it comes at a time where there's also turmoil within the massive fundraising arm of the party with Act Blue and defections within that. We hear these calls for unity. Is the party more or less fractured than it was, say, 30, 60 days ago? And where does it go from here?
Well, I think it's hard to say if it's more or less. It certainly is fractured. They're basically in an identity crisis right now at a time when Democrats want to have unity, as you were saying, reporting, and at a time when there are weaknesses on the other side. President Trump's approval ratings are so low right now that is giving Democrats a real chance of taking over power in Washington, certainly in the House of Representatives and maybe even in the Senate. But because of this identity crisis that the party is going through, the tug of war essentially between progressives and more moderates, that is a big question whether they'll be able to take advantage of what is a tricky political situation for Republicans. I don't know which side is stronger. I mean, you've listed a couple of good races. In some cases, it's gone towards moderates like in Wisconsin. In other cases, it's gone towards Democratic Socialists. We'll see in November which one is more electable.
Well, you might have hinted at it here with that previous answer, saying that Democrats have a chance, because another storyline that's impacting these midterms is, of course, the war with Iran and the duration of that war. Now there's these additional layers of the Air Force One swap giving fuel for Iran to mock the U.S. and President Trump, who has said their military capabilities have been destroyed, yet the Secret Service went to these lengths out of fear of a missile strike. And there's the impacts of the deployment length on sailors aboard an aircraft carrier in the region as well. Jeff, help us understand how much this war is weighing on in terms of both.
Well, the first thing I would say is Americans know what private is. And so the economic impact of this war is certainly one that I suspect would be at the top of their minds as they go to polls. The impact on gasoline prices is well known. The fact that inflation is up after the president largely won an election, among other things, but certainly in part on a promise to bring inflation down and to bring prices down. The issue of affordability is certainly one that Democrats are going to press going into November, and it's one that President Trump is vulnerable on, and he's sensitive to that. He's been dismissive sometimes. So the Iran war plays into all of that because of the impact on the economy. There's also the impact in terms of foreign policy, and people worried about the war, people worried about putting Americans at risk, and that story of the aircraft carrier is certainly one of those as well. But I think, broadly to your question, Ryan, that it's the economic impact that will likely have the biggest influence on voters when they go to polls.
Well, Jeff, you mentioned that the president is sensitive to the affordability conversation, but as this war is waging on back here in D.C., there's a renewed focus on legacy. The Kennedy Center board voting to put President Trump's name back on the building as President Trump really continues to make changes to the nation's capital, to build a statue near the Lincoln Memorial, the reflecting pool, all the changes to the White House grounds. I know that you wrote about this recently, and in fact, we did a tally of how many times he talks about D.C. renovation compared to some other topics. He's actually talking about it more than the economy. So what do you make of all of this, and how, despite losing in court, there's now this workaround at the, for now, shuttered gates?
Sure, well, let's take that second part first. It was the board of the Kennedy Center that made that decision today. The board that President Trump installed when he essentially took over the Kennedy Center at the beginning of his second term, putting in people on the board who were supporters of his. And they made a controversial decision earlier this year to add his name, or actually it was last year, to add his name to the center. That only accelerated the problems that the center was having in terms of bringing clients in, bringing people in, bringing viewers in. And then the board also decided to close the center for 2 years for maintenance. All of that got upended by a judge's ruling, and today the board voted again, essentially to do all of those things, including, to your question, of legacy of getting his name back on the building. We'll see what happens when that goes before the judge, but it is certainly a sign of the things that the president cares about. And I think to sort of step back, which you referenced in your question as well, this is all part of what President Trump has made clear is his long-term development as president, which is that legacy piece and carrying out the East Wing, and the role in the ballroom is one example of that. The takeover of the Kennedy Center and the other things in Washington are all part of it. And I will say, politically, it's not helping Republicans. And I think if you sat down with some Republican lawmakers, they would say, we'd rather hear you talk about affordability than talking about these pet projects. But it's the pet projects that you really spend a lot of time on.
Former White House correspondent, associate to the president, and current White House correspondent, Bloomberg. Really appreciate your time and expertise.
My pleasure.
Last month, U.S. immigration agents took more than 46,000 people into custody, setting a new high under the second Trump administration, according to internal data reviewed by CNN. The White House has a goal of 2,000 arrests per day, but ICE's methods have certainly drawn criticism and scrutiny. CNN's Jerome takes a look at some of ICE's controversial tactics and a warning. This report, it does contain disturbing images.
In July, during a car stop in Harrisburg, Pennsylvania, ICE vehicles pulled over a white SUV that they say was driven by an undocumented immigrant. You can see an ICE vehicle pull in front to block the SUV while agents approach the man from behind. An agent breaks the driver's window and then the car takes off, hitting an ICE vehicle in another car. That same agent shoots at the car as it drives away, opening fire on the residential street. The driver in that car was never apprehended.
This is not the right way to conduct a car stop.
That incident occurred the same month as two fatal ICE encounters in Biddeford, Maine and Houston, Texas, also involved a car stop. In Maine, during a traffic stop, ICE shot and killed 25-year-old Jerome Guerrero, who was not the target of immigration operation. With Guerrero shot behind the wheel, the vehicle circled uncontrollably for about a minute.
Shooting the driver now turns that car into essentially an unguided missile. You've probably created a situation of even greater danger because there's nobody left in control of that car.
That same week, officers fatally shot a Mexican immigrant, Lorenzo Salgado Arana, during a vehicle stop in Houston. The local district attorney's office is conducting an investigation into the shooting. At least 7 people have been killed and 12 have been injured in shootings by federal agents during immigration enforcement since Trump's second administration began. ICE appears to use some of the same aggressive tactics in the latest incident in Virginia, where an agent pointed a gun at a woman during a stop. In many of these instances, the Department of Homeland Security has issued statements defending ICE officers, saying the drivers were trying to use their vehicles as weapons.
Reporting there in response to that video of an ICE officer pointing their gun at a U.S. citizen in Virginia. The Fairfax County Attorney's Office says, quote, "We have heard from community members who are concerned about this situation. We are aware of the incident and are reviewing it." Thanks to Shimon for that report. Indiana is bracing for more severe weather today. Strongest weather in the state. Video you'll see from Yorktown. It shows the scale of the devastation as water rages over bridges, submerging homes and cars. The storm that caused this deluge is being labeled as a once-in-a-thousand-year rainfall event. Indiana Governor Mike Braun declaring a statewide disaster emergency on Thursday, and he mobilized the state's National Guard to help with rescues and cleanup. Meanwhile, other parts of the Midwest are bracing for severe weather as well, with at least 17 million people under flood watches from Iowa to West Virginia. The region is expected to get a break from the rain this weekend. A critical deadline passes as rescue teams in Colombia search for earthquake victims, and just ahead, we'll update you on the devastation in the emergency operations. Plus, we'll hear from Ukrainian President Volodymyr Zelensky about his plans for when the war with Russia ends. That's next.